Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Movie Review with Daniel Richardson. And yeah, I guess before I get started, I just gotta say, dude, fuck this coronavirus. Jesus. Like, I'm in a small town. I'm in Bedford, Indiana. We're not near anything of any importance at all. And, like, it's hitting us. Like, not the virus itself, but, like, the stupid, panicky, hysteric crowd out there. Like, we couldn't buy shit paper. I tried to buy shit paper last night. Couldn't find any. We got lucky. Went to this other grocery store on the edge of town, and they just happened to have a shipment just come in, and we were just lucky enough to be there when it came in. But it's ridiculous. And you're seeing like videos of like people like attacking each other for toilet paper, and it's like one of those things where it's like you're watching, you're going, wow. How could people turn like this? Who would do what? These idiots. Why would they do this? But I'm not gonna lie. Like as I'm in a store last night. I'm at Walmart, and it's overcrowded, everything's fucking gone, and people are still getting, like, snotty with each other. Like, we're all jam-packed into one aisle, right? Like, everybody, like, they're literally, the fuckers at Walmart are putting the shit out, which you can't blame them. Shit's empty, so yeah, they gotta be stocking shit. It's an emergency, So there's, like, big skid full of stuff, dudes putting the stuff up. Multiple people trying to go in and out. Now, we're just there Friday night shopping. That's our shopping night. We're not here to stock up on supplies. We just need to get our regular weekly groceries. And everybody just has this attitude. At one point, this one woman in front of me, she walks past where it was she's supposed to get, and we're all just going through, like, we're cattle in a chute at this point, and she had to come back and get something. I had to stop and try to back up, and of course, I got people behind me. And you just made some kind of, comment under her breath. I'm just like, I would love to put a thumb right in her fucking eye. And I mean, that's a horrible, violent thought to have. Even now, looking back, removed from it, calm down. I still want to put a thumb in her fucking eye. I want to know where she lives and be like, hey, is that hamburger helper worth it? Thumb in the eye! And she goes down. That's what I want right there. I'm just saying, I can see how people just flip out on stupid shit. But, yeah, so everybody out there, hopefully you guys are, hopefully you don't work someplace where they're just going to force you to come to work anyways. I work factory, so luckily we don't have to work this weekend at all. So hopefully you guys are just, staying in, watching movies, whatever it is you're going to do, stay safe from that corona. Dude, kids got out of school. Like, I know it's different, varying, region to region, but in our area, the kids are out for like 30 days or some shit. I'm like, God damn. Wish I was a kid, still in school. I'd be begging for corona. Yeah, stay at home. Don't touch anything. Just stay at home. Vitamin C it up. Watch your movies. 30 days. How awesome is that? And they don't have to make it up or anything. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that fucking awesome? God damn. Kids are so lucky. I don't get that shit. And I'm not sure how it works, but I'm sure like if we shut down for 30 days, like no one's going to pay my bills or anything, so I'm just kind of fucked. But anyways, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the news we got coming up, it's kind of depressing news too. This is kind of a depressing episode of the Horror Movie Review. But let's get into it. We got some news. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, he was fucking 90. Max von Sydow, is that how you pronounce it? Father Merrin from The Exorcist. He passed away this past week. 90 years old. By the time you guys are watching, it's actually been 2 weeks. So last week, he passed away. 90 years old, though. Yeah, I mean, he had a great run. Had a great ride. 90. It's funny because it's like they were listening to all these movies that he was in. I'll be honest with you, I didn't recognize half of them. Like, I was like, I know him for The Exorcist. 1 and 2. 2, unfortunately. But definitely 1. But he's also in Strange Brew. Rick Moranis. Come on. Dave Thomas. Good stuff. But yeah, not gonna lie, I don't know a whole lot of his movies. But once again, when an icon of horror, well, when anybody passes away, it sucks. But especially for us horror fans, when an icon of horror, passes away, kind of hit you. So so yeah, there's that. So with the success of The Invisible Man, and I mentioned last week that James Wan has a Frankenstein-esque movie coming out. There's a list of like, they're doing Creature from Black Lagoon. Elizabeth Banks has done The Invisible Woman. Man, I want to say there's a couple. Maybe I don't know. There's like 2 or 3 to 4 different like movies coming out that are universal, horror. And we got another one now. I don't know if those are Blumhouse. I know with the exception of James Wan's Frankenstein movie. The rest of them, I don't know if they're Blumhouse or not. They may just be strictly Universal, done with other production companies. But Blumhouse is partnering up with, I mean, this name don't mean shit to me. I wasn't a fan. But the director of Jennifer's Body, I'm not sure what her name was, but anyways, she's teaming up with Blumhouse to do Dracula. Dracula is one of those where I'm just kind of like, I'm so fucking sick of Dracula in general. And not just now. I've been sick of Dracula for like 20 years. I remember when I first watched Nosferatu, when I bought the DVD, the first time I watched the movie Nosferatu, I was in my late teens, early 20s, and I was bored with it. And don't get me wrong, I love Nosferatu. It's a great movie. I appreciate it for what it is. It's just at that point in time, I have seen so many variations of Dracula that it's just like, you know the story by heart. And I'm just, as I'm watching, I'm just going like, fuck me, like this is boring. I know what's gonna happen next. Never seen this movie before in my life. Know what's gonna happen next. Time goes on, I go back and revisit it, and like, with a different, point of view, and I'm like, okay, let me watch it now from a technical standpoint. And it's a great movie, but I'm so sick of Dracula. And when they try to reboot the whole Dark Universe the first time with Dracula Untold, I just remember going like, yeah, fuck this. Like, I didn't watch it. I don't do the action horror films as much anyways. And this was like, I don't know, like a bad Van Helsing, but more serious, like a series. Like, I'm a brooding, emo Dracula, and I'm so sad. I want to do kung fu and fight these motherfuckers. It's like, dude, fuck off. But we got our Dracula coming up. Now, there's no details on this one yet. I'm hoping they go modern with it. Fuck it. I would love to see a modern day. That's why, you know what, say what you will, Blackula's got to be in the top 10 best Dracula-type movies ever. Can't say it wasn't unique and different. Wasn't fresh. Come on. Black Dracula in Brooklyn. That's it. There you go. That's it. That's a movie. And I'm like, you know what? That's way better than like the 30 trillion fucking Dracula movies we got out there. For fuck's sake. Like, you can hang on to your basics. You can, Bela Lugosi. The first Dracula. Nosferatu. Should have said that first, chronological. And I mean, I'll go the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula, because that's the first one I saw, and then maybe Dracula Dead and Loving It. And that's it. Those are the four you need. Because guess what? There's no difference in any of the other ones. They're all the fucking same. Every one of them. So anyways, hopefully they do something different. Hopefully they do The Invisible Man and they go in a totally different kind of direction with it. I'd love to see that. I would like to see what, they're going to do with it. And I don't know. We'll wait and see, though. Kind of a unique one before we just go into depressing coronavirus news. The Hulu series Into the Dark, which, I've been very vocal about. I'm just not a fan of it. I keep coming back thinking, like, you know what? Maybe it's going to be better. Who knows? But their April one, they're doing a sequel to a previous one. Now, I'm going to guess it's April Fool's. They didn't come out and say explicitly that it's going to be April Fool's. Because that's the thing, for those who don't know, the Into the Dark series, each month is a horror movie that revolves around the theme of a holiday. Sometimes. The last one was supposed to be Valentine's Day that we watched. It wasn't actually Valentine's Day, just a singer whose name was Valentine, which I thought was kind of a cheap cop-out, but whatever. So anyways, I'm assuming it's April Fool's, because they do give you the plot. They're doing a sequel to Puka. Now, Puka was in season 1, and it was the Christmas movie. And it was really well done. And I won't say nothing to give anything away, because I definitely think you guys should check it out. Because there's actually, all honesty, I haven't ranked them. I haven't actually done the list of, like, let me rank my favorite Into the Dark movies. Or which ones don't suck as bad. There's only like 3 or 4 that I will always say, like, I liked. Thumbs up, liked. And the rest of, like, the 12 plus just sucks. Puka was good. Puka was really good. Psychological. The guy who directed it, god damn it, what did he do? Hispanic guy. He did something, he did like a big sci-fi movie at one point. I can't think of the dude's name right now. Nando's? Something like that. I don't know. It's something like that. Look it up. IMDb that shit right now. I can do it right now. It's my phone, but I'm just not going to do that. No one's wanting to watch me again on YouTube or on IMDb. But anyways, he did the first one, and it was awesome. And like I said, very psychological, really crazy. The basic gist of it is, I guess, without really giving anything away, is that this guy ends up getting a job as a mascot. He's an actor, and he's going to be a mascot for Puka, which Puka is the new Tickle Me Elmo, or the new Cabbage Patch Doll, or whatever the big toy craze is. This is it, the new thing, Puka. And he's Barney. He's in the giant Puka outfit. However, it seems like maybe the Puka outfit is alive itself, and starts kind of messing with him and messing with others. And that was kind of, to boil it down to the IMDb synopsis, that's the basic plot of that movie. But they're doing a sequel, and I thought that was really unique, because I was like, how are you going to sequel this one? But what they decided to do is, the plot is, I guess, a bunch of, I don't know, they're kids or teenagers or what, but some young people decide to create a creepypasta, much like Slender Man or Jeff the Killer, but with Puka. And so they start writing the stories or whatever it is they're doing with it. And anyway, it goes viral and it catches on and it's a huge hit. Like everybody's, scared of Puka. However, I guess because of all the belief that goes into this, everybody's now, the power of suggestion, I guess, brings the dark entity out, and Puka exists. And Puka lives. And we get Puka Lives. Once again, I can see the creepypastas being tied into April Fools, like they do a whole, oh, this really happened. April Fools, and then it goes out, but whatever. I'm excited. I do want to see that one. And as of right now, I haven't looked on Hulu yet, but I'm guessing, because St. Patrick's Day is coming up, that Crawlers must be out. And even though it looks like a serious version of The World's End, the Simon Pegg movie, this looks literally like the exact same fucking plot. But I'll check it out. It's got to be better than the last 2 or 3 they did. I didn't mind the Christmas one. The Christmas one was alright. The New Year's and the Valentine's sucked some big sweaty balls, but the other ones were okay. And now moving on now. So next week, as you're watching it this weekend, it was supposed to be A Quiet Place 2. Supposed to come out. Supposed to be watching it. Going to go to the theater and watch it myself. And now, not happening. Due to the coronavirus, the studio has decided to push it back. Now, once again, you got to think, most of these scares are in major cities, because I think now the rule is you can't have any kind of gathering that's over 250 people, and of course multiplexes and big cities, you got a lot of people showing up, so it's just a lot of studios now are pulling back their movies. And this is the one that, wow, Corona's speaking of that, right? As they're pulling stuff out, this is the one that really affected me, because they also mentioned that, I guess, outside the world of horror, Furious 9, or Fast and Furious 9, or F9, or whatever the fuck they're calling it now, it got pushed back. So did My Spy, the Batista kindergarten cop type movie with that little girl where he's like the bodyguard for her. I don't know what the fucking plot is. I'm sure it's cutesy. I like Batista. I'll watch it, but I wouldn't go to the theaters yet. Yeah. Maybe that's it. Oh, New Mutants. Yeah. Get the fuck about that. I've been put back to that. I'm not gonna lie, I think at this point they were gonna push it back anyways. They're just like, oh shit, Cronus. Yeah, we'll say it's that. Hey, seriously, that was supposed to come out 2 years ago or some shit? It keeps getting pushed back and reshot and re-edited, and that movie's a mess. Seriously, it probably feels like it has Cronus at this point. Oh, I think Antlers is another one that got pushed back too. I'm not for sure. That's horror. But anyways, long story short, they're pushing these movies back. So they're not off the shelf. They get the Hunt treatment where Hunt's still going through. That's crazy. All these movies are going out and they're just like, fuck it, we got yanked once before, we're not doing it again. Cronus be damned, we're going. But anyways, yeah, Quiet Place 2 pushed back. Which, one of those things where I want to see it. I'm really curious to see how the sequel goes. I'm kind of leery if it'll be good or not. Like I said, sequelitis, how it goes. Rarely does a sequel live up at all to the original. And the original's so good, it's just kind of like, But, you know what? Wait and see. Maybe this will help it. Maybe it'll be like one of those things where oh shit, we've got to have it. It's the Eric Cartman, you can't come in law, when he kicked everybody out of his theme park and wouldn't let him in. And then guess what? They all want to go more. Maybe this is not the effect where I'm just like, oh shit, Quiet Place 2's not out yet? Oh, I want to see it. But I'm just thinking realistically, this virus can't go on for another month. Usually this shit runs its course, right? Typically. Unless you're like the Black Plague or some shit, that's different. But typically this stuff, I can see it going to be another month or so max. It's just shit, I really hope Spiral doesn't get pushed back, because our fucking Saw sequel with Chris Rock and Sam Jackson, that's what I want to see. Wait and see. We'll wait and see. And then finally, the coronavirus has actually stopped production on a lot of different movies being made. I know the new Jurassic World they just mentioned this morning has stopped production because of, the virus or whatnot. Stranger Things 4 has stopped production, which really saddened me because I'm like, fuck. Like, they always put so much time between, which is good. I mean, it's a very well-written show, and I mean, you can tell they take their time between each of them. They never feel rushed. So, I mean, I guess it's okay, but it's like, man, there's always like a good year between each fucking seasons as it is, and now this is going to make it even, worse. So, either ways, we got to wait a little bit. But once again, nothing's canceled. It's all just being pushed back, postponed, or whatever. So, that's all we got, guys. That's it for news. We're going to move right on now to the Villain Showdown. The Villain Showdown. A couple weeks ago, the matchup was Michael Myers against Norman Bates, and it was pretty easily Myers killed him. Most people just literally said no contest. It was literally like Michael Myers. Michael fucking Myers. Norman Bates is only so charming, but he gets cut up, diced up. One person literally just said it was just knife in the face, ends it. I'm like, you know what? That's probably the best route. I love Psycho. I've been watching the entire original Psycho 4 movies recently, and I mean I love every one of them. But he's not going toe to toe with Michael Myers. So we're going to the next. Here we go. Another quarterfinal match right here. We got Candyman going up against Chucky. So here we are. Just let me see these two together, but fuck it. Here we are. Once again, we'll just go through the stats on each of them. Of course, Candyman's from the Candyman series. It was a trilogy. We got a new one coming out, hopefully, next month. Yeah, or is it this month? I don't know. I don't know when's coming out. Who knows? With Coronas, maybe get pushed back. But anyways, he's supernatural. Once you say his name, he's kind of just stuck with you forever. Like, he will fuck your world up. He's got a hook for a hand, and bees seem to be... Like, the bees were kind of prevalent in the first one, obviously, because he kisses her and he has it all in his mouth and shit. But it's like, literally, I'm seeing a ton of bees in this new trailer, so I guess bees will be a big thing. I don't know what his flaws were. I've only seen the first one. I'm a poser. I've never seen Candyman 2 or 3. I keep saying I'm going to watch them both to get ready for the fourth one, but I just haven't had a chance to yet. So I don't know if the dude really has any weaknesses. I guess if you just stop believing in him, just don't say the fucking Candyman thing, but once you summon him, I think that's pretty much it. Chucky. My God, this dude has 7 movies under his belt. 8 if you count the remake. Child's Play series with numerous sequels and crazy titles with those as well. Supernatural as well. Dude put himself via voodoo into a doll, a children's doll. I got one over there actually. I got for Christmas. It's awesome. And they put him in a doll. And so at that point, no matter how much you blow him up, kill him, whatever, it just seems like it's his spirit. Like, his body's not even an issue at this point. Because by the time you get to Bride Chucky, you see it's a skeleton. But it's his spirit that is kind of just hovering around. So everyone gets killed. Someone else gets another doll, says the chant, pops it right back in there. Whatever the case. And now he has the power to replicate. If you watched Cult of Chucky, you'll see that literally now there's a little army of Chuckies. I'm not making this up. I'm sorry I spoiled it for you, but Cult of Chucky's awesome. And now there's a bunch of them. And it's one soul distributed out into each of them. Brilliant. Weaknesses, though, I mean, dude gets stopped in every movie. There's 7 or 8 movies, and every time he gets some shit going, he gets stopped. With the exception of Cult. Cult kind of ends with him on top. So I guess there's that. But, keeps coming back, though. Keeps coming back. So here it is, guys. Who's going to win? Candyman or Chucky? Candyman's like an infinite spirit demon thing where, yes, once you summon him, there's no getting rid of him. It's not like Pinhead where you can just do puzzle box and send him back. It's like, no, shit, we're stuck in this. We're stuck with him until he kills us. And then you got motherfucking Chucky, who literally you just think you kill him. You blow him up. Done with that. And then you go to bed, and then he comes back, and you're like, holy shit, oh no, he stabs you and he kills you, and then, goes on. So yeah, I got 2 guys who seemingly are unstoppable, but guess what? I don't decide the winners. You do. So go ahead, put your comments down below. Let me know how they win. That's what I want to see. How do these motherfuckers win? I want to see how we guys come up with, because I do love reading the comments that range from very crazy and wacky and whatever to the downright ridiculous. I mean, it's great, the gamut of stories we get. So yes, please down below. So we're going to be talking about some upcoming horror movie I'm going to say movies, and I realized we only got one, so I stopped myself mentally mid-sentence there. Upcoming horror movie. Next week, it's A24's Saint Maud. The movie pretty much is about this one nun who literally is just taking her job very seriously. What lengths will she go to prove her love to God and to punish any sinners out there? Now, I won't lie, they are banking on the fact that A24 is like the home of art horror, and they keep kind of going back to like, Hereditary and The Witch. Like, they're literally promoting these other movies, and that's always kind of a bad sign. Is whenever a movie comes out, and instead of like saying like from the director of or from the writer of the, no, they're just like, here's a studio, and here's what we. And I'm like, always thought that was like a weird thing. It's like, studio doesn't really matter one way or another. I mean, you can be like, hey, from Fox, it's like, well, it doesn't matter. Fox has had a ton of great movies, but they have a ton of shit movies too, so it's like, but they are playing up that. That seems to be the big thing. They're really trying to drive home the fact that it's like, hey, we had Hereditary, now we have this. But I will say, the trailer looks pretty good. I'm actually very intrigued by it, and I'm going to check it out. Like I said, this girl, she's a nun, and it turns out, like, I don't know who it is. She's like, I don't know if it's the other nuns are being blasphemous, and they're just like, oh no, but she's at like a party at one point. And they're mocking her for loving God. They're like, oh, there is no God, ha ha, And then she's like, no, and it just cuts like random scenes of like people, being killed or what. And you're just like, son of a bitch. But I mean, it does have that look. In fact, honestly, cinematography wise, it looks a lot like the remake of Suspiria, which I love that kind. It had like a 1970s look with clearly a 2000 vibe. So that makes sense. I don't know if I'm just rambling or what. It makes sense up here, but I don't know if I'm saying it right. But anyways, yes, it has this kind of thing, and I'm like, I want to see it. Like I said, honestly, that is going to get me to the theater. They're just like, from the studio right here, Hereditary. I'm like, yep, I liked Hereditary. I'm there. I'm going to check it out. So, yeah, Saint Maud. If you guys watch it, let me know what you think, Or, if you haven't seen it yet, but you saw the trailer, let me know what you think down below. So now we're going to move on now to our main event. I did not even mention the movie, did I? We went right to Coronas. But you know what? You click the video. I mean, you can see the title. I didn't have to mention the movie, I guess. Sorry. We're doing Freddy vs. Jason. We're going back to 2003 for Freddy vs. Jason. And, you can go through the plot, but let's just be real. It's basically Freddy and Jason killing kids, and then they turn on each other. And that's basically the plot in a nutshell. This is a funny, for me personally, this movie has kind of hit both sides. Because when I first watched it, I watched it back in 2003. I, high school, would go see the movie, and I fucking loved it. Thought it was great. And I really liked it for a very long time. Like, through my 20s, was still a fan. And then, I don't know, seems like mid-20s, mid to late 20s, I watch it again, and I'm just kind of like, ugh. Like, this seems way worse than I remember it. Like, ugh, the acting's atrocious, and wow, that's a lot of CGI. Wow, this seems a little over the top and ridiculous. And then I just watched it again. This is the first time I watched it maybe in 4 or 5 years, and I'm just like, oh shit, this movie's fucking awesome again. So, once again, I don't know if I just caught it on a bad day or what, but yeah, I love me some Freddy vs. Jason. What's great about this is, once again, even though studio interference and whatnot, really the only new line Jason movies are Jason Goes to Hell, Jason Hex, and then, this crossover here. And of course, new line has always been Freddy. So in the very beginning, it's funny because, like, in the old Jason movies, anybody who's watched like the Paramount, the 1 through 8 Jason movies, every sequel just about, maybe every fucking sequel, it may not be just about, I think every sequel did this, where in the very beginning you have this ridiculous intro that just recaps the previous movies, like every one of them, and I love it. It's great. We get that with this movie, but with Freddy instead. And it definitely shows a darker side. Now, I'll say this. Maybe it was always implied that Freddy was not just a child murderer, but that he was probably a molester as well. Honestly, maybe it's just me being young and naive. I didn't see that until this movie. Whenever, the scene where it shows him, like, in his boiler room, and there's a girl behind, like, these pipes or whatever, she's scared. he goes up to her, and then, we cut to him with her photograph, her school picture, and he does like this really creepy, look to the back of the picture, puts it in there, and he kind of does a weird touch, and I'm just like, oh shit, he fucking raped that little girl, didn't he? Oh, god damn it, Freddy. Killing kids I'm okay with, but, you never raping them. It's just like, come on. Crossing the line, Freddy, crossing the line. Anyways, so we get the little intro, but you find out that what it is as time went on, this is what we learned in Part 6, Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare, that, when people don't remember him, then it kind of makes him lose his power. Because initially he comes back just to get revenge on the kids, but then revenge on parents by killing the kids, but once he goes through that, he just doesn't stop. He's like, fuck it, I'm already out, I'm gonna keep killing more kids, because fuck it. But when people don't remember him, then guess what? That's it. And so people forgot about him, and he has faded away into hell. Apparently he plays fast and loose though, and he searches hell, and it turns out he comes across Jason Voorhees, who, I guess, X takes place after this, in the future, even though the movie came out before, so that doesn't count, but, he's dead, final Friday. God damn, so many finals in these things, it's ridiculous. But, he pops up, grabs the mask, pulls it down at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, and so, I guess he pulled the mask down and just kind of knew he was going to be going through with that plan. So he manipulates Jason. Now, how he was able to resurrect, what powers does Freddy have where he can literally just get into the subconscious soul of Jason, in the mind of the soul of Jason, just be like, hey, I'm your mother. He pretends to be, Pamela Voorhees, sorry. And says, hey, you need to go back, you gotta go back to Elm Street, you gotta go to Elm Street. Make those kids pay there. Forget Crystal Lake, Elm Street. Didn't say a town either, I thought that was great. You'd think he'd go, hey, you need to go to Springwood, and he'd go to Elm Street. No, Freddy's just go to Elm Street, and Jason's like, yep, and he knows exactly where to go. Whatever. But then, you just start seeing the body kind of, in the ground resurrect, it just, reforming itself, and then he just pops up, and I'm like, does Freddy have clearance in hell to just resurrect whoever the fuck he wants? Granted, he has the dream demons that kind of gave him these extra powers, but I just didn't realize that was one of his powers, one of his abilities. Why don't he just everybody? Why don't he literally just have, if he's just a guy who wants to watch the world burn, just bring everybody back. Any psychotic killer out there who maybe had why not at this point? But whatever. Jason comes back, starts killing, but of course he's killing in Springwood. The one scene this is the one scene I still have trouble swallowing. The rest of the movie, ridiculous stuff happens, and I'm buying every minute of it. Even now, I'm just like, no, that makes sense. But the scene at the very beginning, when you get the first group of kids, and they're all drinking and partying, and then the girl from Ginger Snaps is banging her douchebag boyfriend. This guy, literally, all the characters are wafer thin. Every one of them is just so one-dimensional, it's ridiculous. The stoner guy, that's all they're like, hey, just be Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, but, less funny, and just smoke weed all the time. They're like, all right, got it. And that's his character. You never see him doing anything else other than just smoking weed and looking like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. It's ridiculous. And that's his character. Everybody the same way. You get a little arc of certain people here and there, but they never really progress anywhere. It's just we just gave them a couple extra scenes to make it look like we're fleshing the characters out, and then we just kill them off anyway, so fuck them. So anyways, Ginger Snaps is banging the dude, the douchebag, who's just literally, he's clearly going to be a wife beater if the guy actually grew up, he's just such a douche. She goes in the shower. We do get nice showers, and yeah, I feel like this should be a requirement for every slasher movie, especially in a mainstay, is you gotta have that gratuitous shower scene. Just saying, you should. She's in the shower, and then of course outside, her boyfriend gets macheted in the chest 100 fucking times, which is awesome, and then Jason takes the bed, right, and crushes that motherfucker in half. One of the coolest fucking awesome death scenes in the series. Fuck if you hate this movie, that's fine. You gotta give up that kill scene. Boom. But then he just leaves the house completely. And there are 4 other people in this house. There's one in the shower. Literally, the shower's connected to the bedroom. So it's she can't get away from you. You can literally break that door and kill her. You're motherfucking Jason Voorhees. I've seen you wipe out entire, cabins full of people before. What the fuck? But he just, leaves. And then, of course, when she comes out, she's like, "Holy shit, dead body." And then her and the rest of the kids run out screaming. Ah. Happens a cop comes by, same guy. I don't know this dude's name. He was in a scary movie. And the movie Screwed with Norm Macdonald and Dave Chappelle. I'm just hitting rando fucking movies right now. And he was in Night to Roxbury. He's the blonde guy. I don't know, I feel like his name should be Chip in every movie he's in, because he just seems like that kind of, he just seems like he's a Chip. Like, hey, Chip, what's going on, Chip? He's just like cocky football guy. That's who he is. But he's a cop in this one. And then, of course, they end up going to the police station. But it turns out that, they are linking this to the Freddy Krueger murders. And not just necessarily the Freddy Krueger murders, but, once again, when Freddy Krueger's dead, those murders kept going. And, because everybody was dying mysteriously. And eventually, the parents must have just been like, fuck, this is happening. Like, somehow he's attacking them in their dreams. A nice little callback to Part 3, because the drug that Nancy was taking in Part 3 was Hypnosil, which was a experimental drug that basically eliminated your dreams. It was your one defense there. And in this one, you find out that a couple of the guys from a psych ward, young teenagers, who break out to save the day, or try to save the day, they were on that Hypnosil or whatever. So they could block out the dream for a little while anyways, until, it wore off or whatnot. So anyways, I thought that was kind of neat. The little touches of like, hey, look at, you're incorporating it. You're not just rebooting or restarting it. Like, you're not scrapping your entire past. Which is saying something when you got two franchises, which this was the 8th Freddy movie. If you count New Nightmare, because New Nightmare was the weird fourth wall breaking, like not really part of the series film. But then, of course, this was the 11th Friday the 13th movie. Once again, not counting Jason X, because that hasn't happened yet. That's in the future. But still, yeah, keeping everything pretty much in continuity. And I thought that, I really liked, those little attention to details right there. Won't go through this movie blow by blow. I will just point out some of my favorite scenes. I think this is a lot gorier than I remember it being. Which is kind of funny, because I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, like, I remember a lot of these movies get toned down a lot. But this was the early 2000s. Like, Saw is just around the corner, as is Hostel. So I guess at this point, the gloves are off. But, there's a scene where Jason literally just goes through an entire, kegger rave thing in the cornfield, which is one of my favorite scenes. Like, literally, he's just fucking motherfuckers up. Love it. One issue I have with Freddy, and I'm going to get to the final scene here in a second, but the one issue I had with Freddy was, so Freddy didn't have his full power yet, because in an early scene, he goes to attack this one kid in a street, and like he's standing like a good 50 feet away, right? But then CGI shadow pops forward, pops up, and goes to slash at him. But of course, it goes right through him, and of course the kid runs off, and he wakes up, and then Freddy's like, not strong enough yet. I'll let Jason have the fun until I can build it up. Because at this point now, with everybody murmuring Freddy, everybody's like, oh my god, it could be the Freddy Krueger murders. It gets in the kid's head, and that's all it needs. You don't even need a description of the guy. You just need a name. First name only. And it's enough to, have him haunt your dreams. So we established that, Freddy's not strong enough to kill in the dream world yet. At the same time, though, we've established every fucking movie that Freddy's been in, that whatever damage you sustain in the dream world carries over to the real world. Always. From a slight cut, a burn, to being fucking brutally murdered, it always carries over to the real world. This is canon. This is how it goes. But there's a scene with Kelly Rowland, who was the second most famous Destiny's Child chick. Didn't quite blow up like Beyonce, but if I'm being honest, she's always been my favorite because that song she did with Nelly, and then this movie. Like I said, that's the only thing. Everybody's like, Beyonce sold out millions of fucking whatever, and she's the most powerful, female pop vocalist ever. I was like, yeah, but Kelly Rowland was in Freddy vs. Jason, and she did that one song with Nelly. Case closed. Anyways, there's a scene where, because she's kind of like a mean girl. I mean, she's really nice with her best friend, Lori, but she's just kind of like, she's always putting down the nerd. And so that's kind of her entire arc character thing. But then she has another thing where she's very self-conscious of her nose, which is ridiculous because like her nose looks great, like it looks fine, and she's just like, should I get a nose job? So there's a scene where they do kind of a nice little misdirection where you see Lori is in the nurse's office at the school, and you see Freddy hanging out behind the glass. You just assume like she's down the dream. So we cut to the waiting room, and there's, I forget her character name already, Kia, I think. And she's looking at the magazine, and of course, it's a cosmetic thing, and of course she's just like, these no, And then she's going through the magazine. It gets more gruesome, and then out of nowhere, Freddy pops up with his finger gloves, goes into her nose, and he goes, "Got your nose," because that's what Freddy does. And then he pops the nose, like the nose gets ripped off of her face. And then she wakes up screaming, but her nose is fine. I'm thinking, but wait a minute. It happened in a dream. You lost your nose in a dream. You should lose your... So I don't know if that's just a middle step of like, Freddy's so weak that he first can't hurt you, but then the second time, he can kind of hurt you. It just doesn't carry over to the real world yet, and it's not until he gets his full power. It's never explained, and it's always bugged the shit out of me, even when I was a kid watching it. So anyways, but we finally do get the showdown. Wait, before we showdown, sorry, there's one more thing. So that bugs me a lot, but then the other thing that bugged me was Jason's new fear of water, which is straight up ridiculous. Like, he's never been afraid of water. He's chased motherfuckers into the water. I guess the only way you can make this is how I make sense of it in my head, so I wouldn't go crazy and have an aneurysm, is that I believe it's a subconscious fear because he drowned. But even then, you're kind of going, that's some wonky ass bullshit right there. But that's how you gotta have Jason have some kind of, because the first fight they have is in the dream world. Jason gets taken out, tranquilized her out, and they meet in dream world, and of course, Jason's able to hold his own, and Freddy's getting his ass whooped until this water pipe bursts. Because there's certain elements of reality, even in Dream World, this pipe bursts, the water comes down, but then Jason stops, and he's just like, oh my god. And then, of course, Freddy realizes this, and then surrounds him in a cell of water, and then, of course, Jason in his dream reverts back to kid Jason, sniveling, crying, a little whatever. And you're like, why didn't Freddy just kill him then? Like, he just leaves. Like, even though he puts, like, the thing, I guess Jason's immortal. I guess we've already established that at this point, but it just seems like you could cut him up pretty quickly right now. Probably would have helped you in the long run, but he doesn't. Anyways, so, yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, the water thing. But we get to the end, and we get what I was wanting. Here's the thing, I don't care how ridiculous, cheesy, whatever this final showdown was. It was everything I possibly could have wanted in a Freddy versus Jason movie. It's them fighting. Going back to the Universal movies, they used to do the crossover films. You had Wolfman meets Frankenstein meets Wolfman, and then you had House of Dracula and House of Frankenstein, and you bring all the monsters together in these movies. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember exactly which one it was. It may have been Frankenstein versus Wolfman, or meets Wolfman, or what the fuck, or it may have actually been one of the House movies. But there's a scene where literally the Wolfman and Frankenstein's monster go at it, and like Wolfman like leaps on him, like from like top of like this cabinet thing, and like they're fucking having a fight, and it was the coolest thing ever. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if it would have been a lot more of that in that movie, the movie would have been way more better, much more better. But it was just like, that's what I want to see. Alien vs Predator, same thing. That's what part one. That's why part one works, and part two sucked so much balls, because I just want to see the Predator and the Alien lock up and just go at it, street fight. The Villain Showdown is that in a nutshell. That's why I do it. Because in my mind, I want to see these guys literally fight each other. I want to see them separated for a long time, and then have to be, and then they sort of team up, and then they get to fight. No, I'm waiting for the fight. That's what we all want to see, and I don't want to be brief. That's always the problem with the House movies and the crossover Universal film. Well, it just seemed like they would literally hold it off until the very end, and then when it would finally happen, it just ended as quickly as it started. Like, there was no epic fight scene. It just, I don't know. And this is the one time where it just seemed like, yes, I got my money's worth. They basically get Jason back to Camp Crystal Lake, but then in doing so, Lori, the final girl in our movie, she goes to sleep and drags Freddy out. By hook by crook, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty convenient, but she finally gets him out, and now Freddy's in the real world, and boom, we have our showdown. And the last 10, 20 minutes of this movie is just so fucking awesome. The fighting. And I don't lie, don't get me wrong, Jason was more devastating. Jason definitely had the more power moves. The shit he did to Freddy was so much more fucked up. Which is like, Freddy's not immortal. Like, he has the demon powers, yes, but it's like, in the real world, he's playing by human rules, so it's like, he's vulnerable to pain and everything. But for whatever reason, in this movie, like, he's getting his ass just... At one point, he gets, like, thrown through, like, a window, and then, like, Jason drags him along through all the windows and hits, like, the stud, like, the big pillar. And I'm like, dude, you just broke Freddy in half right there. But he's fine. He's a scratch. Pulls him out. So they keep fighting. Like I said, Jason had the power moves, but, dude, Freddy had the most hits. Like, this is an actual boxing match. And, like, judges were, whatever. It's like, dude, Jason didn't make that much contact at all. Like, when he did, it was devastating. But, like, Freddy, dude, motherfucking jabbing him with the fucking, gloves and dropping elbows and shit. And I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted to see right here. It's epic. That's all I'm going to say. Fucking epic. Even now, watching, I'm just like, this is so awesome. Like, this is what we've been missing right here. And I just remember the only thing that I was wanting more than anything else was when these two guys are fighting. And, I mean, at the time, I was in high school. I didn't know about, studio copyright laws and all that bullshit. I was like, dude, if Michael Myers shows up right now, I'm going to fucking cut my pants. I'm just going to cream the shit out of these boxers because, god damn it. As they said, it's your trifecta. That's your holy, or I should say unholy trinity in the world of horror, Freddy, Michael, and Jason. And Michael would showed up something. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. I would accept that literally they're fighting, and then out of nowhere, there's like a butcher knife in the back, and you're like, what the fuck? And he turns around, and it's like Michael there. It's like, sure, why not? Jump in there, get in the fray. It would have been great. It is interesting to note that in the build-up to this movie, there actually was a lot of different scripts that came and went through New Line, and one of them actually did incorporate Pinhead. And I guess the initial, one of the endings was going to be at the very end of the movie, because we get this final showdown. I'm not sure how much of the actual movie would have, retained. So I don't know if we would have had Laurie and Will at the end as the, last two survivors or not. But at the end of this script, apparently, you had Freddy and Jason. And they're looking on the dock, and they're looking at each other, and they're just going to start going after each other. I mean, they've been fighting this whole time, but this is it. This is, the end of it. And they're going to go for one final clash, and then these chains was going to pop up, wrap around both of them, and fucking pull them apart. And then up through the water, Pinhead was going to come up and say something to the effect of like, okay, now boys, you got to play nice. And it's going to end like that. I was like, dude, that would have been fucking tits as well. Like, seriously. Because I feel like, Freddy and Jason to me seem like such a weird combo because it's like fantasy dream world demon against just stalker. I feel like Jason and Michael would be a great fight. Not a lot of dialogue between the two. And I don't know how that you'd make that interesting. Although there was a short film called Freddy vs. Michael that was, of course, like a fan-made thing. And it was pretty cool. But either way, I always felt like Freddy and Pinhead would be the better match because they're both like agents of hell or whatever. Like, Pinhead's literally like the head guy who dishes out punishment in hell. And then Freddy has the dream demon powers. I mean, so it just seems like they would be a better clash right there. But, it is what it is. I will say, this movie, as trashy as people may think it is, there are certain scenes I think is just so well directed. I love for one, just the look of the film. We get into Jason's head and you see his version of Camp Crystal Lake. I love that whole thing. The way the cabins look, the way it's just kind of like everything's kind of tilted, and just, I don't know, it looks great. And then I love the final scene when Freddy, there's a big explosion, you think Freddy and Jason are dead. At this point, Freddy has his arm ripped off. Like, his glove arm is ripped off, right? And he's been stabbed or whatever, and Jason's fucked him up. But then the big explosion, they're all out. So Laurie and Will, last two survivors, they're up on the dock, and they're just like, oh my god, finally. And then you hear this thumping. And you see a pair of legs and the machete. And you're just automatically like, oh shit, like Jason Voorhees. But then as the camera backs out, it's not. It's Freddy Krueger. It's one-armed Freddy Krueger. And of course, now he's, talking shit, and he brings it up. And as he's about to cut him, bam, through his chest comes his gloved arm. And you see it's Jason behind him. It's just like, it's so, both moments were just so out of nowhere. Because you're expecting it to be Jason. It's like, oh shit, it's Freddy. Oh shit. And then when Freddy's own gloved arm comes through his chest, you're like, what the fuck? And you realize, oh shit, it's Jason behind him. I don't know. I love that scene. So then, of course, Jason falls into the water, wounded, clearly. I mean, Freddy does take him to the left. Like, say what you want. Jason had a power game, Freddy had a speed game. but Freddy took him to the limit. And so literally, Jason collapses in the water. You know he's not dead, but at the same time, they're just like, we don't know much about Jason. Throw his machete back in there. But then when Freddy drops to his knees, you know, he's still alive, even with his fucking hand out of his own chest. Like, at one point, Jason even, like, throws his own arm up into, you know, Freddy's chest cavity, and you're like, Freddy, how you fucking still alive? But anyway, so as Freddy's on his knees with his own chest out, Laurie picks up the machete and lops his head off, and he goes in the water, and then they leave. You know, the place is on fire, Camp Crystal Lake's burning, and they fucking leave, which I think is awesome. And then we get the stinger at the end with, you see Camp Crystal Lake, and then Jason emerges from the water, machete in hand, and also Freddy's severed head, and then Freddy looks at the camera, breaking that fourth wall, and gives you a wink, and you can hear the laughter in the background, and we know, oh shit, he's not dead. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I would have liked this rather explode. We ended with them walking around the dock. Yes, the stinger was cool, but at the same time, it's just like, it didn't lead to anything. And I'll talk about that next, because initially they wanted to bring another horror icon into the mix. And so the initial idea was, well, who can we afford, or who, you know, what can we get? And I guess initially they're going to make a deal and have Bruce Campbell, Ash Williams himself, go up and be, you know, from representing Evil Dead, who's going to be the third part of this, you know, movie. And I guess they wrote the script, and it got as far as, like, maybe even pre-production before, for whatever reason, they just got yanked. I'm guessing, well, they did the reboots later, so I don't know, it wasn't anything legal, because, like, what the fuck? But anyways, it gets yanked out from the thing. They did eventually turn this into a graphic novel series, and I read it, and it was good. I will say, only thing I was disheartened about was the fact that Laurie and Will get killed, spoiler alert, like in the first fucking scene. Like, literally the first, like, issue, I guess, or whatever. They go back for whatever reason. I guess they want to make sure that Jason's dead. Like, you know, Freddy's dead. They want to make sure Jason's dead. And they go back, and then, of course, it's, Jason shows up and ends up killing them both, and they're just like, wait, we're supposed to be heroes. It's like, no. And it's like, really? I just don't see that, but whatever. But the inclusion of Ash into this would have been awesome. And the story they do is actually, it makes a lot of sense, because, you know, the Easter egg of Jason Goes to Hell had the Necronomicon on that mantle or whatever, on the fireplace. And so it was just like, yeah, that makes perfect sense, that explains how Jason is this unstoppable killing machine. It's the Deadites. They're, you know, somehow it's inside of him, and it's just some kind of weird mutation. And then, of course, the fact that Freddy's a dream demon, it's like, yeah, of course, if the world where Deadites exist and, you know, the Evil Dead is out there, then, you know, clearly demons as well. It's a perfect mix. And the fact that Ash would have brought that humor, you know, the classic Bruce Campbell stuff that we love, into the mix. I mean, really, as you're reading the comic, you're picturing it in your head, you're like, yeah, this would have totally worked. And for whatever reason, it didn't happen. They ended it kind of the same way, too, though. It ends with a, like, I don't know, they Ash wins and they leave, but then you find out that Freddy's still out there or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it ends exactly, but it basically lets you know, like, Freddy's not gone yet. And then they do a part 2, which was really bad. Freddy versus Jason versus Ash 2. I think it was like Nightmare Warriors or something like that, to that extent. And basically took all these soul survivors from the previous one, Tommy Jarvis and blanking on other ones, but they bring everybody back from the previous installments that survived. And Tina was another one that they brought back from where she had the psychotic or the telekinesis, and they bring them all back. I'm like, that's a good premise. But then they just kill them off unceremoniously quickly. Like, every one of them gets killed off really quickly. You're like, well, what the fuck? Like, that was kind of unnecessary. But, well, I don't know. It is what it is. So, yeah, that was Freddy vs. Jason in a nutshell. Like, I'm a huge fan. One more thing that bugged me, too. You find out that Freddy kills Laurie's mom. And I'm like, okay, he always attacks teenagers. Like, this is the first time he's attacking like an adult. And it's just like, what the actual fuck? But I don't know. Once again, we don't explain it. We just gotta give Laurie a personal reason to be mad and to actually, you know, hold this grudge against Freddy, I guess. But still, yeah, it's just like, so Freddy kills the mom and not, like, he never killed any of the moms. Like, wouldn't that be easier? You kill the moms and then you go after the kids next? Like, I don't know. Should have been there the whole time, I think. But anyway, one more thing. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm just kind of going off tangents. But I gotta say, speaking of Laurie, she's actually one of my favorite final girls, just in horror history in general. Like, she comes off really vulnerable early on, but she comes like a bit of a badass at the end. And I don't know, it never feels forced or phony. I don't know. I think she does a really good job. Monica Keena, something like that, played her. And I always thought she looked a lot like Brittany Murphy, especially in the early 2000s. Unfortunately, I don't think she ever went on to do a whole lot of anything. She was in Entourage. She played Eric's girlfriend for a bit in the early seasons, but then like quickly out. And then they brought in the girl that Sloane was her character. And I don't forget the actress's name. But yeah, they brought her in instead as a replacement or whatever. But I thought she did really great here, and that's why I think whenever I read the Freddy vs. Jason versus Ash comic, I was like, no, she is not getting killed like that, like not at all. Bullshit. So that's just me. So, anyways, if you guys have seen Freddy vs. Jason, let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. If you like it, if you don't, give me the reasons why. Where does it stack up for you? Like I said, I've done the Jason, I did the Friday 13th, ranking. I've done the, Nightmare on Elm Street rankings. I will say it ranks a lot higher on the Nightmare on Elm Street for me. More mid-card, I guess, because, 1, 7, and 3 are top. This is probably number 4. Dream Master's really good, though, too, so I don't know. It's in there somewhere. But with Friday 13th, it does seem like it is a little bit lower. Still mid. I mean, still in the mid. But I remember when I was younger, it seemed like it was a lot higher. But then as I got older and I've just kind of rewatched these movies a million times, it gets kind of shuffled down a little bit or whatever. But either way, let me know what you guys think right now. That's all I got, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and until next time.
Oh, shit. Didn't always run, sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Dark Side. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go right there. So be sure to get on, give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh yeah. So that's all we. Oh my God, sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? Yeah, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.